Nigeria's public debt burden may hit 77 trillion naira if the National Assembly approves the request by the President Muhammadu Buhari to restructure the Ways and Means advances. This is according to Director General of the Debt Management Office, Patience Uniha, last Wednesday during the public presentation of the 2023 budget organized by the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Dr. Zainab Ahmed. She, however, noted that the debt would be 70 trillion naira without 5 trillion naira new borrowing and 2 trillion naira promissory notes. According to experts, this is going to place further pressure on the fiscal spending in the 2023 budget. For more analysis, Steve Okafor, the MD CEO, Kofana Securities and Investments, joins us virtually. Hello, Steve. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, good morning. Nice to be with you guys once again today.
All right, as always. Well, now, according to experts, the federal government's huge appetite for borrowing under the current regime had actually worsened the country's debt stock. And so we're looking at what's your position, really? Because when you look at this, the country's debt stock rose to 44.06 trillion as of September last year. What's your position?
Really, there is nothing wrong in borrowing. It's just that when you look at the composition, when you look at what are we borrowing for, you understand? That is where the problem is. We ordinarily, if we are borrowing to enable us embark on capital projects that will better the loss of the masses, there won't be any challenge. But because of the fact that, for me, I'm not looking at this current year budget. I look at what we did last year, and I'm like, out of expenditure as at 30th of November last year, over 40% of the money expended was earmarked, spent only for servicing of our debts. Now, less than 14% is for capital projects. We are spending to service debts. Servicing of debts, not repayments. We should know the difference. You are not repaying it, you are only servicing. And the trend seems to continue. When are we ever going to get out of this hole?
Now, I think I'll just put that question back to you now. How can we actually get out of this hole? Is there a way out? Or is it going to be a cycle that will continue endlessly?
As it stands, we thank God that this current administration, their tenure is going to coming to a close this year. Because when you look at the composition, of how this money is spent, recurrent expenditure alone, because when you borrow money and at the end of the day you discover that a lot of it is going to recurrent expenditure. So it now comes to the angle of, if you want to possibly get out of the hole, you have to look at how do we reduce these expenditure heads. You understand? There is nothing that we are going to do in this country if we don't look at cost of governance. That must be tackled. Because there is no way you will tell me that this money they are borrowing a lot is not going to recurrent expenditure. We should rather borrow to embark on capital projects rather than borrowing for recurrent expenditure. If we're not generating enough to take care of our recurrent expenditure, if we're not generating enough internally to take care of our recurrent expenditure, then we must do something and make sure that our recurrent expenditure is at least equivalent to what we can shoulder internally. Borrowing should be more of capital projects that will be able to service the debt from the profit made from such investment.
All right, quickly now, still talking about the ways and means now. The federal government has been talking about the securitization of the ways and means, and the National Assembly has not approved that yet. So we have the president saying that if you do not approve it, that will take debt servicing to 1.8 trillion naira in 2023. And then on the other hand, we have DMO saying that if it is approved, that will probably take the debt burden to the debt stock to 77 trillion naira. 70 trillion naira as it stands, then 2 and 5 trillion naira for some other things. I'd like you to speak to this. What is in the securitization of this ways and means? Is it the right way to go, the 40-year bond? I'd like us to, Nigerians to really understand what the securitization is about.
You see, when you look at printing of notes by CBN to possibly cover certain expenses in the country, you look at how would this impact possibly on the inflation and other aspects of the economy. You see, this, with all honesty, as long as this government is not doing what they are supposed to do in terms of checking expenses, I don't see, with all honesty, there is nothing. They have, now let's look at it this way. They have accumulated, expense heads they must take care of. And if they are not going to borrow externally to finance it, what do you expect them to do? CBN is under the control of the federal government. So that is what is happening. I don't really know what to say, but I know that, look, the situation we are in is between the devil and the deep blue sea. And when you have such alternative, there's very little you can do, seriously.
Okay, but I actually need you to speak to where you stand. Do you agree that this particular means and ways, the 22 trillion naira, should be securitized, or you feel that it should not be securitized?
Perpetual. For me, it's a difficult thing for me to actually come in and say that. I think it's yeah. Let's go. Let's. You see, that is why you see the National Assembly is finding it difficult to possibly choose a particular way. You understand? I know. Yes, I'm supposed to take a position on it, but with all honesty, the situation we have found ourselves have made everybody feel the way we are feeling right now. And the only thing we are looking at for is how fast we can get to where this government will possibly shift out of this position, and let's find ourselves in a better position.
All right. Very quickly, how would you advise we approach borrowing, or are there other alternatives? Because so many people have condemned this particular government's borrowing and all of that. Are there alternatives? What can we do?
Yeah, the thing is this: when we're looking at our debt stocks, when we're looking at our borrowings, like I said, we must attach these borrowings to specific projects. You understand? We must attach this borrowing to specific projects, and let those projects be projects that will add value and increase our capital income, increase the standard of living. We shouldn't go to finance lifestyles. We shouldn't go to pay salaries and other recurrent expenditures. That is not the best way to go. We should borrow for capital projects, so that at the end of the day, we know that, we have even seen in South America where governments borrow to possibly build stadiums. But these stadiums are generating income. They are generating enough to pay back the loan. We shouldn't just borrow because we want to borrow. We shouldn't just borrow because we are not making enough to pay politicians and maintain their lifestyle. That's not why we should borrow.
All right, very quickly, in closing, I'd like you to speak to revenue generation as an alternative, really, to ensuring that we reduce the pressure, on government.
Yeah. You see, Perpetua, the revenue generation in Nigeria is such that, one, first of all, we must look at how to improve agriculture. It is a very vital area. As long as people can eat food produced right here in Nigeria, it will go a long way in reducing pressure on spending on importation. Once we can produce what we can eat here, improve security, reduce to a large extent headers, farmers, clashes that reduces access to farmers having access to their farmland. And whether we like it or not, government should also try as much as possible to reduce these various taxes they are placing on companies. Because you see, as long as they tax them, these companies cannot breathe. And if they cannot breathe, what happens to employment?
All right.
These are areas that I think the government should look into.
All right, thank you so much, Steve Okafor, for sharing your thoughts with us on the show today.
Thank you.
I've been speaking with Steve Okafor, the MD CEO Kufana Securities. We take a break now. When we come back, we'll bring you the Global Oil Report. Stay with us.